The following video is sponsored by Anker. So I have here 3 awesome products from Anker. We've got a battery bank. It's the A110A. Now this has a capacity of 26,250 milliamp hours, and it can output a maximum with all 3 of its ports of 300 watts, which is impressive. So this can charge a MacBook Pro, the M4 Pro version, to 50% in just 27 minutes. And it will allow you to stream video on an iPhone 17 Pro Max for 5.5 days. Yes, not hours, but days more you get from it. And an impressive charging rate too of 250 watts self-charging. It is using GaN tech. It's Anker's Anker Prime, and that's how they keep it so small yet powerful. And then the other devices here, well, I have the Anker Prime wireless charging station. So as you can see, it is wirelessly charging a iPhone 17 Pro Max, and that's at 25 watts because it supports the Qi 2 standard. You can charge an Apple Watch and some earbuds or AirPods or other wireless earbuds at the same time. And then there is this triple display dock right here. The Anker Prime DL7400 docking station that also allows us to run 3 displays at once if you've got a MacBook, and it does support both Windows and Mac OS. Now the power bank, this has a fantastic capacity, so it's 26,250 milliamp hours, 300 watts, and really good design with the screen, as I'll show you. It's even got Bluetooth and 140 max out of the Type-C ports for your charging rate, and in total you get that amazing 300 watts. Retail packaging, really nice looking, and they've got these little security tabs here that you do need to pull on in order to open it up, and that way you know that no one has opened this before, it hasn't been tampered with. Okay, and what else do we get included? Well, just under this, there is a pouch for it, which is great that Anker's included this. So you slip it into the pouch for travel, stops it from getting scratches and damage. There's a little pull cord at the top. And then we have a Type-C to Type-C cable and a quick start guide. Now that capacity of the 26,250 milliamp hours translates into 9.75 watt hours, and the weight of it is 586 grams according to my scales. So when you tap the button on the side, that brings up our screen. You can see the remaining battery percent, Bluetooth connection. Down the bottom, there are some Pogo port pin connectors. Now you can charge it at 150 watts if you have the wireless charging base for this, which I don't have. And that will charge it up to 50% in just 21 minutes. And then along the top, we have our ports, and they're clearly marked there. You can see the Type-C 1 and 2, so both of those that can do 140 watts each. And the Type-A's maximum is 22.5 watts. But when you combine all 3 of these, which I'll be testing soon in this video, then you get that 300 watts maximum. So you get the 140 out of both of those, and then 20 out of our Type-A, which is impressive. So really, I like the design of this. The screen, it's all very, very practical. On the back there, you've just got all of the output specs. Now, if you want to read some of this, just pause the video now. So we can see here with the app, it gives us our percentage and what the input or output wattage is of those 3 ports that it does have. We even have the temperature and info on that too. You can see 22 degrees or 71.6 Fahrenheit. Now, it is very safe because it's got active shield, so it's constantly monitoring those temperatures. So it's going to keep itself nice and cool and save itself from overheating. And that is really good to know, especially if you're going to be flying with this. And as I mentioned before, it is aircraft safe. So charging now with the 2 Type-C ports here, we can charge up to 250 watts. And you'll see now, you can see dual port fast charging. So this is brilliant to be able to do this. And this means that it will get to 50% in only 13 minutes. So you can see the rate right there, also on the app. And I hope that we can get at least around over 200 watts here, because I do have some limitation with my chargers that I currently have. So it has dropped down a little bit there, but it is increasing again. I can see a total of about 180, and that should get up to about 200 at least. Oh, there we go, 200 watts. That's what my chargers can do at the moment. So if you have more powerful chargers, Type-C chargers that can do 140 watts, then you will be able to, with both of those, get around the 250 mark, which is phenomenal speeds. And you can see exactly the same information here with our app, which has got, by the way, a lot more in it. If you tap here, you can see there are different options for the charging modes. You have your screen settings. You can adjust the brightness there, the timeout of it, and even turn on a clock screensaver. With that, you've got the 26 Prime, the name, you can change that, and there are firmware updates. So it recharges blazing fast, but what about now discharge? A bit of a test here. I have a couple of portables here. Now, I don't have a MacBook, but if you happen to have a MacBook Pro M4 Pro model, well, you're going to be able to charge that up to 50% in just 27 minutes. Remember, out of those Type-C ports, it's 140 maximum. Now, I do have some phones here. I'm going to use them with the Type-A port, so it won't be as fast. But with the two laptops, I'll plug them in now, and we'll see what kind of discharge rates I'm able to get. So using both of those Type-C ports. So we're currently doing about 18 watts. This should be about 100. This laptop right here should be about 100 watts. It's 65 watts for the Honor MagicBook 14 that I do have. And we'll plug in that Type-A port now and see what I can get out of this for discharge. I'll plug in first, well, I'll do my Vivo X200 Pro. And I can see now, all right, it's telling us that all three ports are connected, showing the wattages. So we're pulling 60, 34, and 10 there. So that's quite good. Of course, I could get higher if I had some more higher powered devices. So right now it's just 103 watts that it is currently discharging at. Now I have an iPhone 17 Pro Max plugged into it too. Now remember, it's going to be able to run it for 5.5 days of video streaming. So that's an amazing addition. If you were going on, say, a camping trip or something and you wanted to stream Netflix, you're watching Amazon Prime Video, well, you could run it then for 5.5 days of streaming. So that's great. One last little charge test. So 3 phones are charging: the iPhone 17 Pro Max, the Vivo X200 Pro, and in the background, the Huawei Pura 80 Ultra. And they are all charging there at the current output in total is 90 watts. So the iPhone's doing about 38 watts. The Huawei currently at about 34. And then 18 because I'm using the Type-A port, which is a little bit slower with our Vivo. So it's not using its Super VOC charging, which, by the way, it does support. When I plug in a Type-C cable, I've seen the supercharging for the Vivo icon show up. Then our Anker Prime wireless charging station. So this is using the Qi 2 standard. That's 25 watts. If you have an iPhone, you can use other phones too that are MagSafe compatible. That'll have the magnets all lined up in the correct positions, and those will charge wirelessly, which we'll be testing out along with my iPhone 17 Pro Max. And you can charge watches on this and your wireless earbuds too, if they're supporting the Qi standard for charging, that is. Included with that Anker Prime wireless charging station, 3-in-1, well, you find here a tiny little charger. Now, it's using GaNTech, just like their battery, so they've made the size of this thing so tiny. It's 65 watts, which is more than adequate. In fact, more than it actually needs, because it's only 35 watts output maximum. But look at this thing. It's super small. Type-C port right there, and the 2 prongs for American use there, or even in China too, they use those same plugs. Now, we do have these little stickers here. That's for the wireless charging of your watches there for the Apple Watch. If you're going to be using one of those, I won't, but it's just to make sure that it's all level and going to sit on there nicely. Then there is a Type-C to Type-C cable, which is nice and long, high quality Anker cable. And there is a little bit, finally, of paperwork you can see down in here, which is our quick start guide. So there's a screen there at the bottom that gives us all the charging information, the wattage, which is very handy to have this. Now, when it's not showing, you simply just tap it, and then you can tap and hold to turn it off if you want. So I've got some earbuds. They charge with the Qi wireless standard. This, of course, does support Qi 2 at 25 watts, and in total 35 watts. But here we go. Let's put these Tozos on there, the Tuzos. They are starting to charge, I can see now, 3 watts, which is great. I can see the little screen has turned on. Now, I don't have an Apple Watch. I'm not much of an Apple user myself, but imagine this is an Apple Watch that's going to sit on there and you will be able to start charging that. It looks like it is not going to work. No. Oh, no, it is. There we go. It's starting to wisely charge. So that's a surprise because I didn't think it would work. And then I have an iPhone 17 Pro Max here. So this is at 25 watts and that is now wirelessly charging. I can see that has come on charging. And if you look at the screen here on the bottom, it's telling me the rates at which they are charging at. It looks like, no, my Huawei watch, the Watch Fit 4 Pro, it's not happy with that because it's not the standard that it's expecting. So I did kind of think it wouldn't work, and it's not. It seems to be coming on and off, which is a shame. But if you have the Apple Watch, then that is going to be working. So you can charge all of your devices just on this one stand here, which is absolutely brilliant. And if you look closely at the back of where that MagGo charger is, it's using air cool. So this is actively cooled. There's a little fan in there. So it's at that 25 watts maximum. Nothing is going to be overheating because the fan that's just in here is going to be keeping everything cool. And if you want to charge Android phones, just make sure they're MagSafe compatible. And I have this case here for my Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. So putting that on, it will come up with, yes, wireless charging, fast wireless charging. It's going to take, it's telling me there, about an hour and 24 minutes until it is fully charged. It's not charging at the full rate, but at least it is working. And if you put this on at night, you'll wake up in the morning with a fully charged phone. This is the Anker Prime DL7400 docking station. So it's 14-in-1. It works with Windows and Mac OS. You can run 3 displays with it, and up to 8K 60 is the resolution that you can run with the DisplayPort on this. So included, we get a Type-C to Type-C cable, and then our power cable. So from the right to left here, we have our power in. This is for the Type-C. Now, that Type-C cable will also charge your laptop at the same time. 2 HDMIs, they can output up to 8K 30Hz. The DisplayPort here is 8K 60Hz. 2 Type-A's that are up to 5 gigabits per second. And this is a USB 2.0, so that's for mouse and keyboard as they have labeled it. And we do get 2.5 gigabit LAN. Great to see that. Now here at the front, we've got a lot of nice options that I do like to see, and that is an SD card slot, micro SD or TF card, and then 3 Type-C ports. Now these Type-C ports here support 100-watt charging, but also data. So those two are 10 gigabits per second. This one's 5 gigabits per second. 3.5mm audio jack with mic support. And then we have the little dial and knob on the right-hand side. So this is where you can go along and select, if you need to, some different settings like the brightness for the screen, the timeout, and the screensaver. You can put a clock on there, even change the language. And if you want, you can go and select the different information. So what it will show you is the charging, the wattage of the screen. You can even have it always on if you wanted to do so. So just go back and show you. So that's where you can see the wattage and the outputs if you had something plugged in. So it's a super useful dock, this one, and especially the triple displays. So overall, some fantastic products here from Anker. Their typical high quality build. My favorite here has to be the wireless docking station here, 3-in-1, because you can wirelessly charge your phone at night. You can put your Apple Watch on there, some earbuds as well, and have them all charged and ready in the morning. It's quite a stylish looking piece of tech too as well, this dock. I do like it. It's going to look really great next to my bed, my bedside cabinet there. And then, of course, we have the triple display dock. That's a 14-in-1 here dock. So if you're running, say, a MacBook Pro, you can run those 3 displays. You've got all those different ports there as well. So you've got the Type-C ports up to 10 gigabits per second with those. And then 100 watts out of each of those 3 ports at the front is very handy. And finally then, the 26K 300 watt Anker Prime battery bank. Great output from this, so 300 watts, impressive. And I love how it can charge up to 50% in only 13 minutes with the dual input turbo mode there. So it's charging, self-charging at 250 watts. Now, if you want to know more about these 3 products here, do check the link in the description of this video. We can find out more information, pricing, and any possible coupon codes. Thanks a lot for watching this video.